Just before we move on, I noticed that in the Mentimeter in the last session, there were a lot of questions that were related to secondary education. So just a reminder for the online participants as well as in person that this afternoon we're focusing at 6:10 on secondary schools, and we'll have secondary school teachers sharing their experience with us, and then we'll be moving on to primary school teaching. And again, we have teachers who have been experiencing eLive exchanges who are going to be sharing with us their tasks and what they got out of the exchanges. This morning's session that I'm introducing is focusing on how we've been integrating training in virtual exchange into pre-service teachers' education programs within the higher education teacher training institutions. So we have two presentations, an initial presentation by Margot Lagrange from Université Clermont Auvergne in France. Margot assisted in a module that was about innovating the curriculum for language teachers, English language teachers, as a first-year master's student, and experienced virtual exchange herself, and she'll be telling us about that. And then we're going to hear from Yana Shytykt, who is also a master's student and who put into place a virtual exchange in extremely challenging circumstances. So I'm going to hand over to Margot. We'll take questions at the end of both presentations. So we'll hear both students, and then we'll take questions in the room and online, of course. So thanks, Margot.
So good morning to everyone in the room and online. So as Cara Wiggum just said, I'm Margot Lagrange, and I'm going to present you what my class and I experienced thanks to the eLive project. So I represent the Université Clermont Auvergne. Clermont-Ferrand is in the middle of France with beautiful landscapes. Thanks to the extinct volcanoes next to the city. So if you like to go for a hike, just come to see us. This experience was part of our master's, so the master MEF. So it's teaching English to secondary pupils. This master is a 2 years master's, which ends with a competitive exam to have a civil servant status and be able to teach in secondary schools. We have teaching observation during first year, so 3 weeks in November and 3 weeks in March. At the end of March, we are supposed to have done at least one activity with the pupils. And in second year, as I'm currently in, we have 2.5 days in a school teaching, and the rest of the week, so the other 2.5 days, at university being trained. We experienced eLive in first year, in our case, in the first semester, in a module named Training in Pedagogical Innovation. It was a 15-hour module which focused on virtual exchange. It was divided into 2 parts. First, the theoretical introduction, and then a virtual exchange design. So as I said, it started with theoretical introductions. So we had a lot of classes to explain us the project first, and to give us all of the keys to understand all the aspects of telecollaboration and virtual exchange. So there were 3 topics that we explored: digitalization in language learning, intercultural competencies, motivation, and engagement. We used Genially as a presentation for slides, also Mentimeter, now you know. We also had a Padlet, which made it really interactive, actually. as we all wrote our opinions, and we could react on each other's opinion, and it was anonymous, so it was nice. And we could see what the other, our partner, could write as well, and we had quizzes, so we love quizzes, obviously. So the virtual exchange project involved 3 universities. Utrecht University from Netherlands, for which this was part of their language curriculum. The Université Clermont Auvergne. So for us, it was part of our pedagogical innovation module. And Pontificia Universidad Javeriana for Colombia. So for them, it was part of their teacher education module. So all of those students represented 48 persons desiring to teach English, Dutch, French, German, and Spanish. And it was a 6-week exchange. We were in pairs, and my partner was from the Utrecht University, for example. So, this virtual exchange was divided into 3 tasks, which I will explain one by one, of course. Each task was preceded by a pre-task, the task itself, and then a post-task. So we have task 1, which was language biographies, then task 2, teaching experience, and then finally, task design. The post-task, I will not come back to it after each task because it was always the same. So we had to write a reflection on what we thought about the task, about communication, collaboration, the intercultural exchange, and the digital tools that we used. So we had to say why it was nice, why it wasn't, but mainly why it was nice, why it wasn't nice. The first task was mainly to introduce ourselves to our partner. So to make it as lively as possible, we did a short video on Flipgrid. In this video, we had to answer questions like which languages do you know, where and why did you learn them, and you have all of the questions just in the middle of it. So this was the pre-task. The task was to comment and react on our partner's video. So it was different, and it was a type of activity that young people we are used to do on social medias. So it was very nice to do something that we do outside of class because we like to film ourselves and talk about something. So for once, we were active. We were not passive, as we usually are, at least in French universities. But for some of us, it was stressful to present yourself to someone you don't know. And some others did not want to record themselves or to share their personal information. So these were obstacles that some students faced. This second task was about our teaching experience and our respective educational systems. So for my colleague and I, it was the Netherlands educational system and the French one. So first we had to write a reflection like this one on our teaching experience on the eLife Moodle. Our partner read it, and then we called through Big Blue Button, And we discussed what we thought about each other, teaching experience or school systems. For my part, I really liked it because with my partner, we shared common interests and experiences, and actually, we discovered that she lived in England the same year as I lived in England, in about the same area in England. So this was really funny. And so it started with this, and then we talked about the places that we liked in England and what we thought about the British school system as well. So this was really nice to have those three visions on three different school systems. This was a very good experience, at least for me. But for some of the students, in my class at least, it was difficult to find a date to call first because we were really busy with our masters. So this was one of the first obstacles. And some did not like the fact that we were hearing and reacting about something that we read just before. It was too similar for them. So it sounded a bit repetitive for some of us. Task number 3 was the task design, my favorite task, to be honest. So for our teacher, for the Université Clermont Auvergne, Carol Wigham, then, she gave us websites to find ideas to create a school virtual exchange, and then we created one. So for example, Tecola or Tila. So this was the pre-task, finding ideas on what we would like to do the virtual exchange. Then the main task was to exchange and have feedback from our partner to improve our task. And then the final step, so the third step, was to formalize it on a Geniali, to present it to the other students. So our virtual exchange design had to gather several things, as you can see. So pre-task, a task, a post-task, objectives, the tools that we would use during the virtual exchange, the type of interaction, an expected task outcome, a timeline, differentiation, and assessment. So a lot of different things. Here is an example. This was my task design, actually. So pupils had to create a map of their country and to present it to each other. So they presented themselves, their country, and their favorite cities. So here are the objectives, the environment, the tools, etc. So if you want to read a little bit, I'll let you have a look. So they were supposed to use Big Blue Button, Google Earth, and Google Docs, all the task long. It was nice to create something that we could use later in our career. It made it concrete. It was difficult to find ideas of tasks, but thanks to all the resources that Cara gave us, it became really easy. Plus, it was nice to have our partners' critiques, feedback, as in my case, it was really constructive because she. So I never went in front of a class. She did. So she gave me real advices on how could pupils react and how they could behave and etc. So it was really constructive feedback. So here is the main task, for example. Okay. So what I got out of this experience, so first what we got out as a class from this experience is that most of us liked the experience as an overall, except some slight little difficulties like finding a date to call, that it was a lot of work out of the work we already had for the masters. For my part, I really loved to have exchange programs when I was a kid, when I was a child in my schools. But I always found it really sad not to be able to see your pen pal, just having a letter, and that's it. Maybe a picture if you're lucky, but not always. So to be able to see the person I'm writing to, this is really nice. And to be able to speak with the person, this is incredible, actually. So this type of activity allows pupils to see their pen pal, to see the person they're speaking to interact with them online, on live. I also liked it because it was nice to experience and discover a new way of teaching. And that before to start our career, thanks to this experience, thanks to our partners in Netherlands, we started to create a network. This is really interesting as well. Also, I think that this kind of experience could help pupils to be more interested by languages, because we use tools that they love, internet and new technologies. So obviously, it's the perfect combo. And it can also help pupils to have a better understanding of what it is to be a child in another country, because not every countries are the same, obviously. It opens minds to cultural differences also, which is very important for them, future citizens, but also for us to educate them. This experience has been a good way to aware us on how we can teach, that there is not only one way to teach or co-teach, but there are a thousand of ways to teach. So here was my presentation and my experience. So thank you for your listening.
So, dear friends, dear teachers, dear ladies and gentlemen, today I'm so excited to be here and to share the highlights of the intercultural virtual exchange between Spain and Ukraine, when war doesn't prevent you from making friends and learning languages. I invite you to let me introduce my introduction for you. Also, I will tell you about the students, about our team, the story of our exchange. I will give you the examples of the tasks in the form of the film which we created together with our team, with my professor Begonia Clavel, Dr. Barry Pinnock, teacher Alfredo, also my family, my husband, and for my kids and all of my students that have participated in our project. After that, I will tell you about my master thesis and the output of this, and also about the reflections and next steps. So we are welcome to start. First of all, some words about myself. My name is Yana Shytykt. Fortunately now, I'm a teacher and researcher here at the University of Valencia in the Center of Idiomas. but I'm very happy because of that. But I was lucky to be a master's student in advanced English studies at the same university. I was working as an English teacher for 10 years in Ukraine. In 2020, I decided to co-found with my German colleague, with my colleague teacher of German, some language speaking educational institution for Ukrainian students, because we realized the lack of real-time English communication English opportunities for them. So we decided to collaborate with the teachers worldwide to enhance their language speaking skills. After that, I have come here and became the master student, and I was honored to be supervised by esteemed Professor Begonia Clavel, who is expertising in telecollaboration. And now I will explain how everything really was started here. Professor Begonia facilitated my introduction to accomplished educator hailing by Spanish school Alfredo, and based on his expertise, we devised together the intercultural exchange to foster the communication based on the intercultural traditions, customs. We try to make the focal point of our exchange of understanding the cultures of two different heritages, and try to share the students' personal experience. How do they perceive this culture? From my side, I had got 9 students, Ukrainian students. 5 of them were currently living in Ukraine, and 4 of them were living in different other countries. From Alfredo's side, he had got 15 students from Spanish school, aged 13, 14 years old, and they have English as the lingua franca. Also, we speak together a lot to discuss different points of our telecollaboration, and all my experience I give the output in my master thesis. This facilitates the collaboration with my teacher, Begonia, because we were working on 2 different levels, on pedagogical as the tutor, as the coach and the teacher, and research-wise as the master student and the supervisor. And now let me tell you the story of our exchange. First of all, the personal relationships between me, my supervisor, Barry, between me and Alfredo was crucial. It was like the foundation for everything, because the continuous feedback and giving recommendations to each other, which helps us to improve a lot of things in our telecollaboration. We employed some channels as face-to-face meetings, for example, emails, online meetings like through Big Blue Bottom, also Google Docs, Google Tables, online meetings as well. In our virtual exchange, we faced a lot of challenges. First of all, the importance of context. Understanding our participants' background and connections was crucial, especially for Ukrainian students. The difference between both groups of students was really different, because I had got only 9 students, Alfredo 15. The age of my students was from 9 to 15, the Alfredos 13, 14. So it was really difficult to maintain some relationships between them, and also in terms of the schedule, because we face some challenges to assign the schedule with Spanish students, because, for example, my students had the vacation at this period. It occurred in June this year. Challenges regarding technology on the Ukrainian side, and also regarding timetables. This virtual exchange occurred in the period when our Ukrainian Kakhovka hydropower station were blown by the mines. That is the reason why we faced a lot of power outages. That was extremely difficult, because some of the students couldn't connect in time, and I had to teach them separately and to meet them explaining our intercultural communicational course, because we had like part-time activities in the form of preparation for actually the exchange. So we overcome all the challenges and keep the project going. And right now, I want you to tell about tools that employed in our exchange. We used synchronous and asynchronous communication. We used Padlet for asynchronous communication, where the students can upload their personal information. Big Blue Bottom for the synchronous communication, where can they meet each other and discuss all the things that they are interested in, that they have read on Padlet. And also Frame, which was the target of my task. Right now, I'm kindly ask you to watch the video that we have made about actually the task that we created together. What should I do? This?
No.
No? Here. Thank you.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yana Shytykt. I'm a teacher and researcher in the Language Center in the University of Valencia. I was a master student in Advanced English Studies at the same university, and today I'm excited to share the highlights of the intercultural virtual exchange between Spain and Ukraine based on the eLife project, which involved the systematic procedure. We utilize digital tools for both asynchronous and synchronous communication, enhancing language learning experience.
In the first stage, students shared information about themselves and their cultures using Padlet. In the second phase, synchronous interaction occurred through Big Blue Button meetings, allowing real-time conversations and cultural exchange while using Frame virtual world reality platform. In the context of my intercultural assignment, our primary objective is to seamlessly integrate all these stations into the digital realm, specifically within the vibrant life of the three islands, Arcadia, Chatterdale and Via Charla. Our journey commences at the very first station. Moving to the second stage, we implemented task-based language teaching with pre-task and main task to enhance language skills and intercultural competence. This included exploring cultural differences between Spain and Ukraine in language, food and traditions. The team will play a quiz game about these differences at the final station, so pay close attention when doing the different stations. Always work as a team, discuss the information provided, help each other with any comprehensive problems. At this station, our young participants comprehensively explore their respective National Independence Day celebrations. They passionately discuss the intricacies of how this critical occasion is commemorated and their active efforts to share the essence of Ukraine, including its rich cultural and ideological values, with people from diverse backgrounds. In this presentation, our young participants have meticulously crafted narratives about Ukraine's capital and their hometown of Cherkasy, offering a captivating glimpse into their roots. The primary aim of this task is twofold: to introduce our international friends to the geographical landscapes of Ukraine and to show the diverse architectural marvels that grace our homeland. At Station 4, our young representatives have thoughtfully crafted a narrative highlighting the breathtaking natural wonders that Ukraine has to offer. In addition, they extended a warm invitation to our friends to take notes on these remarkable sports, paving the way for engaging and insightful discussions shortly. Station 5, we present an informative video that comprehensively overviews Ukrainian traditional clothing and costumes. With presentation delves into the rich history of their development, shedding light on the cultural significance behind these attires. Furthermore, it introduces prominent Ukrainian writers, encouraging children to engage in discussions that explore the similarities and differences in the national costumes of our two countries. As we arrive at the 6th station, our young participants embark on an exploration of the most beloved sports in Ukraine. They delve into the profound significance of football in Ukrainian culture, inviting a comparative analysis of this sport in two distinct cultures. This discussion delves into the deep-rooted importance and significance of football for the people, culminating in an examination of the central stadium where these spirited competitions take place. At the 7th station, our young participants are warmly welcomed to partake in the intercultural communication course, delving into topics such as cuisine, language, traditions, history, and sports. Following this enlightening course, they are encouraged to engage in a quiz that assesses their grasp of the knowledge acquired during this virtual exchange, as well as their existing knowledge prior to our journey. The quiz at this station adds an exciting twist. As children answer questions, they accumulate points, increasing their chances to win in the upcoming auction. The coveted items up for grabs include: the first, a delightful dinner experience featuring an array of delectable Ukrainian dishes prepared by one of our talented Ukrainian students, Eva. We have even showcased her culinary expertise in a video on our panel, and participants can bid to enjoy her mouth-watering creations while undertaking their final task. Another remarkable offering is an apartment project meticulously crafted by one of our students, Yana. This project includes a stunning interior design with a carefully selected furniture. We are opening this apartment up for auction, allowing someone to enjoy it during their holidays. These auction items add a layer of excitement and engagement to our virtual exchange, providing participants with the opportunity to acquire unique experiences and creations. It is essential to mention that the virtual world exchange occurred in 3 virtual reality frames: Arcadia, Chatterdale, and Via Charla. Students worked in groups, deepening their language skills and cultural understanding. After the quest, a survey assessed students' emotional state, cultural awareness, and satisfaction, providing valuable feedback. In the 3rd stage involved planning a Big Blue Button meeting where students devised a summer vacation scenario. They worked together to find common interests, fostering cooperation and emotional connections. In the last phase, students met in frame virtual reality where technical challenges awaited them. They shared photos and videos, creating a virtual reality experience mirroring their summer plans. Finally, a post-task questionnaire evaluated changes in emotional states, friendship, language learning desires, cooperation intentions, and cultural differences. This exchange exemplifies the power of technology in promoting intercultural understanding and language learning.
Hello, my name is Jan. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Ukraine. I was the oldest in this project, but that's a good thing. I really enjoyed leading the process and helping my younger participants to communicate in English. It was very interesting to me to meet new friends. Some of Spanish students were very funny, and I was very happy to learn about their culture, traditions, and teach them about mine.
Hi, my name is Eva. I'm from Ukraine. I have already participated with my teacher Yana in many online projects, but this project is different. I love the atmosphere that was created during the communication. Spanish students are very friendly and open their studies. It was too easy to deal with them. I want to meet some of them face to face.
My name is Andrei and I'm 10 years old. I live in Ukraine, Gaza City, and I like the like project. I like meeting with Spanish children and speaking with them, but most of all, I was satisfied with my final interaction. I overcame my shyness and fear. I could communicate in the quiz game in the name of all my Ukrainian team. Thank you for the opportunity to discover this ability inside myself.
Hi, my name is Sofia and I'm 12 years old. I'm from Ukraine and I like ELIFE project because I could learn something new and interesting. Also, I met new friends there. I learned to speak, write and express my opinion correctly in English. The most impressive thing I discovered about Spain in the form of greeting people with 2 kisses on the cheek. In Ukraine, a handshake is the most common greeting, but close friends and family may hug or kiss each other.
My name is Lila, I'm 15 years old and I'm from Ukraine. In my opinion, ELIFE project is fantastic and I had an opportunity to practice speaking English skills with my Spaniards and make some friends. Some of them are still texting me, and the best thing I liked was to know each other in big blue bottom meetings through live communication, where I could share and ask, laugh and enjoy our conversation. The speaking activities I practiced helped me to feel confident and pass my exam at an architecture college in Poland. And I love visiting Spain and meet my new friends.
I'm thrilled to share the heartwarming impact of the telecollaborational virtual exchange project. It's a promising tool for language learning and cultural exchange, aligned with task-based language teaching principles. Our research using participant observations questionnaires uncovers valuable insight into students' motivation, collaboration and engagement in the virtual exchange program. We are committed to share our findings through the ELIFE website, making it accessible to the teachers all over the world. In the nutshell, our study highlights the benefits of telecollaboration and technology integration into language education, providing the practical guide for the educators. Our project's true essence lies in giving Ukrainian students the respite from the challenges they face, giving them the glimpse of the world full of opportunities. Their resilience and eagerness inspire us. I'm so thankful to my supervisor, Professor Begonia Clavel, to Dr. Barry Pinok for technical support, to Alfredo, the teacher of public Spanish school, for assisting me. This project deepened my understanding of language learning acquisition and students' motivation.
Thank you for watching. I want to comment this video. All the students that you have seen in this video have made all the videos that I insert in my task. It was several years of work because we were working with different countries, and the main objectivity of our intercultural exchange was to present Ukraine to all the world. And also this task is ready to be implemented in virtual world reality, because like the further plans is to meet with the students from different countries and to show our heritage and to learn a lot from them. Let's continue.
So the output in my master thesis was to explore the implementation and effectiveness of this virtual exchange task. The virtual exchange task aims to develop the language speaking skills and foster intercultural communication. The study follows a three-step cycle for task, as I mentioned in the video design, and used a case study approach to examine students' progress. The main objective was to identify the true students' motivation in telecollaboration language learning. Data collection methods includes observation questionnaires and recordings. The conclusion drawn from this research have practical implementation for educators who wish to integrate telecollaboration and technology in language teaching. And our reflection. We have got a lot of positive reflection because the most important for me, as you have seen in the video, the youngest participant, Andriy, who is really 9 years old, and he faced a very big challenge in his life to speak with 4 Spanish students alone, because even in this time, my students a lot of my students can't connect to this big Blue Button meeting. It was even in the frame, so he was really proud of himself. That is the greatest output. Also, my student Lila managed to enter the architectural college in Poland, where the education is completely in English. That is also very valuable for me. And some students now studying abroad, and they use English as their like first language, and our intercultural exchange helps them to overcome different difficulties and to understand the teachers and the subjects. So regarding the negative reflection, encountered problem with the internet connection because of these power outages we faced. Insufficient time to carry out all planned tasks, because actually it was not like the class in the classroom as Alfredo had, so it was difficult to get all the students together in the same task in the same time. And other challenges that affected the experience, such as emotional condition, because the students, some of them had to be with us even when the alarms announcing to hide in the shelters. You know, it's like our everyday reality, so we can't escape of this, unfortunately. But overall, we hold a highly favorable opinion of the experience, and it taught us valuable lessons, reinforces our commitment to education, and underscored the potential for even better outcomes in the future. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.
So, had a question, anyway?
Yes, come here, come closer.
I've got a question for both of you. Let's start with Yana. You said one of the goals was to enhance their language skills. And I saw that most of the assignments or the tasks were all focused on exchanging cultural identity. So did you also monitor their language skills and how they improved?
Yes, all the students were preparing for each exchange, because the main goal was first to create the emotional connection between the students through the Padlet asynchronous communication. The second one was to teach them about Spanish culture and to help them to introduce their own Ukrainian heritage to the students based on their everyday life experience. Because as we know, like the students have got a lot of different subjects in school and they are learning everything there, but the main task was to make everything live, you know, based on their own experience, and they try to grasp the main facts regarding some stereotypes or maybe some traditions, and to transform them in our everyday life and to speak about this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the
got a question for you as well, Margot. Thank you so much. You liked the third task best, so the task where you had to design a task for potential students. Did you also have a look at tasks designed by other students? So because all the students did the third task, right?
Yeah.
Participating. So overviewing these tasks that you saw, when does a task work, do you think, for students? When is it appealing and interesting for them?
I'm not really sure to understand the end of your question.
Okay.
Can you rephrase it?
going
I'm sorry.
to rephrase it. No problem at all. So you saw lots of tasks.
Yeah.
When does a task work for a student? What does a task need to be appealing for a student, that the student really wants to do it, is interested?
I would say after they knew each other, after they met their partner, because first, as it seems to have been the case with you, Yana, sorry, I'm so sorry. First, they have to create the emotional link to know each other, to appreciate, we hope, each other. And then you can start to work, I would say. Well, so yeah, it's after this introduction to each other phase that you can do a task.
Margot, this is a question for you. I'm a teacher trainer of an institution in England, and I was really impressed by the academic rigour that was attached to your tasks and your module. So I'm assuming that your module was assessed. I think if I was lucky enough to have a teacher training partner, I don't think I would want it to be an assessed module. I think I would like to see it more as a tool for teacher training. So my question to you is, if my students were actually experiencing the tasks as if they were a secondary school student, would that have been enough for you as a student in your university? Or because it wasn't assessed, would you have been not as interested in it?
I think the module was enough to understand how to prepare a task. And as it was assessed, well, we want to do it more, because sadly this is how it goes, at least in France. If it wasn't assessed, for my part, I'm really interested in things like that, so I would have had the same result at the end, but I don't know if all of my class would have, because well, this master's, at least in France, is really heavy, really busy. So probably a lot of students would have just do what they have to do without understanding, without going deeper into the details, I would say. So, yeah.
Any other question?
I'm sorry, can I add something regarding my task? I know that maybe it seems very complicated, but actually I can modify, and my idea is to modify this version for the virtual reality frame for the teachers who doesn't have time to do this intercultural course. That is the reason why did I create the auction at the end, because it can be much more shortened. For example, during one session, each teacher can provide the students with the information of the culture and main points of some heritage, and also in the process of quiz, they can solve some questions raising the points for the correct answer, and after that using these points in the virtual frame reality, where they are involved in the discussion how to spend like virtual holidays together, because two of my students created by their own without my help. It was their initiative, the apartment for spending time together in virtual reality frame, and the meal, the food that they were enjoying. So it should be like the motivation for them to learn about different culture, to answer all the questions, to have the most amount of points, and to win. as a team as well.
Thank you. We have an online question. I was asked to go and stand in the light, so I will. It's for Yana, actually. Can this project be mirrored, used for other institutions in Ukraine? We have an Alliance Française colleague in Kiev that would be very interested.
Yes.
Is it possible?
Yes, sure. That was my idea, you know, because before making anything, I just looked through all the tasks that are already that have already employed in TILA and TECOLA project, but I decided to do something cultural, you know. I decided to do something global for using different other educators, even from Ukraine, to represent our country and like to make some interests of different other students in our culture. That is the reason why these tasks are ready to be uploaded and also to be implemented in any collaboration.
Okay, thank you. That answers the question, I think. Any other questions online or in the room? Yes, welcome to you.
Thanks. Hi. I would like to ask, are your tasks and your handouts already available in the eLive website?
Not yet.
No. But will
Not
they be
yet.
for other teachers to use?
Yes, but the idea that they will be, and also in our everyday life, I didn't have any opportunity to implement all the sections because of the situation, but I hope that in the future I will do it definitely. So I'm open to any collaboration with the teachers from different countries. You are eager to text me and we will plan everything together.
Good to know, good to know.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have a look here. There's no more questions online. Okay. Yes. Sorry. I think it is. Bart needs to do that. Yeah, we're checking Mentimeter because we have that online still as well. So let's see if there's any questions over there. Oh, oh God. Yeah, we'll open it again. So then for the second part of today. Yeah. Yeah, so if you don't have a question right now, sorry, I'm out of the light, and you, during the break or this afternoon, you come up with a question that you think, oh, I still have to ask that, then we'll make sure that the Mentimeter is still up and you can still ask your question. So perhaps sometimes during lunch or whatever, something pops up anyway, and then you can ask it again. So I think that is it for the questions then, if there's no other questions here. Okay, well, thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is lunch. Yeah, so right now we are done a tiny bit earlier than expected according to the program, but that's fine. So we're now going out for our lunch break, and at 5:30 we will start again with the short welcome and the rest of the program. So thank you very much for listening so far.